Hey everybody. So, I'm making this video because okay, so the Atlantic put out this article yesterday and it was talking about, wokeness is ending, but we might miss it. And then, the New York Times put out a very similar article. I'm pretty sure that was yesterday too. And, there's a lot of these companies, like Business Insider has their own article like that too. I don't think that one came out yesterday, though. I think that one was published on a different date. But either way, I'll put the links to those down in the description. But it talks about like the end of wokeness. They're all talking about wokeness like it's in the rear view. It's something that our culture. It was a cultural trend, and now that trend is ending. The way these things are talking, and it's odd to me. And look, I'm a schizophrenic. Okay, I have schizophrenia, diagnosed. I'm on disability for it. Like, it's a real thing. So I might just be seeing something that isn't there. I might, this might be just me making a mountain out of a molehill. But it just seems kind of odd to me because let's recap here real quick, okay? What is wokeness? Is wokeness being a Democrat? Well, no. No, I'm a Democrat, and I don't consider myself woke, because wokeness is that a lot of Democrats don't like wokeness because usually woke people are insufferable. Usually woke people are constantly coming at you with this purity test, no real Scotsman kind of nonsense attitude about things. And, where Democrats recognized white privilege was a thing, in that, yeah, as a white guy, if I get pulled over, I don't think I'm going to get shot. It's just, the cop's not going to shoot me. If I got pulled over for speeding or something small like that, the idea of the cop shooting me doesn't even cross my mind. Okay? But, as we'd seen, that's different for black people. That is a different experience for them. The recognition of that is what wokeness originally started as. But over the years, wokeness became so much darker and weirder. And suddenly, all of the weird Tumblr kids who left Tumblr when Tumblr banned child porn, and then they took over Twitter, and then Twitter ended up with a child porn problem until Elon Musk finally bought it. That's a whole other can of worms. But still, all of the weird gender stuff, that all started on Tumblr, like, way back in the early 2010s. Before Tumblr... before the great Tumblr to Twitter migration of the woke happened. And... now wokeness is very... it preaches anti-racism, but also tells white people that we should hate ourselves for being white all the time. It preaches anti-religious discrimination, but has really had no problem with coming right out and saying that they hate Christians for like the last 10 years. And just for like the last year, they've been very openly anti-Semitic. They claim to be anti-bigoted, or anti-bigotry, but then act very bigoted toward anyone who is cisgendered and heterosexual. Like, these are the difference between like a Democrat, liberal, and a woke person. Is the woke people are the ones with the blue hair, the nose ring, the hipster glasses, who become violently ill when they see a heteronormative family picture. or something. You know, like they can't stand it. It makes them nauseous. And what's weird to me, I'm finally coming around to the point. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page of what wokeness is. Because I remember for a while, the big defense that the woke people would use, even though they would tell us that we need to get woke, whenever we would talk about wokeness, their big defense was always to play dumb about it and pretend it don't exist. What? Woke? What even is woke? What is that? Like, and it was very, very odd defense tactic, playing stupid. I never really understood it. It's like, so your tactic is to pretend that you're too dumb to hate? Anyway, what's odd to me is we went like 10 years, 10 good solid years, where wokeness had been pretty much mainstream. Cancel culture was in full swing there for a while until they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle, and then that ended, basically, because once they couldn't cancel him, everyone realized, oh, wait, you don't have any power. But I digress. There'd been a lot of hills taken in the war of woke, and their failure to cancel Dave Chappelle and then Elon taking Twitter from them, I feel were like two of the biggest killing blows to them. They were two pretty massive hits, you know, that I feel pretty much led to where we are today. Now, what's odd to me, that was fine for 10 years. For 10 years, nobody seemed to notice or care. We cared, we noticed, we thought it was really weird, but the media was fine with it. The media didn't seem to have any issue with anti-racist people saying racist things about white people. The media, you know, just ignored all of those previously mentioned hypocrisies. I'm not going through the list again. This video is already longer than I wanted it to be. And that was fine for 10 years. And then an event happened last year. You might remember it. It happened in October. I don't know how in detail I can really get about it, but it happened in the Middle East, and it started with a guy was hang gliding, and ended up at a rock show. So, you know, bad things ensued from there. And at that point, the extreme left, your cuckoo crazy leftist, went full mask off and was like, surprise, we were anti-Semites all along, ha-ha! And, you know, suddenly, everybody's opinion on wokeness changed. Suddenly, everybody realized that everything that we'd been saying for years, oh, that is true, actually. They really are just bad people. You know? And it's so odd to me how it was fine. Sarah Silverman herself, who was recently complaining about how she just can't pass the purity test anymore, and talking about how bad wokeness is, you know, she made Santa Inc. an extremely woke show that just shits on white Christians in every episode. Of course, it didn't get a second season. None of these woke shows ever seemed to get a second season. The Acolyte didn't. Did Velma? I think Velma got a second season. For all the Velma fans out there, I guess. What? But the Willow got it so bad. Willow not only didn't get a second season, it was also just scrubbed from history. That show doesn't even exist anymore. You can't watch it anywhere. Like, She-Hulk didn't get a second season. It killed The Witcher. The Witcher's first season was pretty good. The second season was pretty woke, and I don't think they got a third season. But like you're seeing the pattern where the woke constantly would talk about this modern audience that they were making these things for, but then the modern audience never showed up. The modern audience didn't play Suicide Squad. The modern audience hasn't been buying Dustborn. The modern audience didn't watch The Acolyte. The modern audience, if it does exist, it is only like 10% of the population, because these things just are not getting messed with. These things that are designed specifically for the modern audience never seem to find an audience. But it's odd to me. They went full, like, wokeness was fine when it was only attacking white people and Christians. But then when wokeness crossed that line and said, and we don't like Jews either, less than a year, and I'm reading articles, like I said, on the New York Times, The Atlantic, Business Insider. I'll post those links down in the description. You can read them for yourself. I'm reading these articles talking about how wokeness is done. Wokeness was, it was just a fad. It was just a trend. It's over now. Like, Yeah, funny how that works. And again, I am a schizophrenic. I understand I am a schizophrenic. One of the joys of schizophrenia is that you get to second guess everything you see. Doesn't that sound fun? But still, jokes aside, I could be seeing something that isn't there. But it seems an awful lot like something is there. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. Till next time, you're you, I'm me. Keep it brutal.